Hey guys, Jeddy here, founder of the Rising Man Movement, men's coach, and amateur bus daddy. Here I wanted to just make a fun video and give you guys an update on where the bus is at. If you guys haven't heard about our bus adventures from when we took this bus and another bus and lost a bus in the process of moving from New York to California, then make sure you go and check out that video down there. But I want to show you where I'm at and speak with you about some of the things that I've learned along the way. So come on in. So, as you guys can see, the bus has transformed quite a bit since you were last in here. I've put in the floors, the subfloors, the walls, the insulation, 2x4s on the windows, and mind you, I have like minimal construction experience before this. So, the first thing that this has been is a tremendous learning opportunity. If you guys remember the video when I was talking back in New York on the way out here, I was talking about how overwhelmed and frustrated I was, and that I literally don't think I would have made it with the bus from New York to California if I didn't have my team. And the same has been true since building the bus here. I'm fortunate that I've got a bunch of friends with way more experience, who are way more intelligent and wise at doing this type of thing than I am, that have helped me to develop this. But I've done a lot of the handwork and the grunt work myself, which to be honest is actually makes me very proud of myself, because this is something I've never been able to do before. And what I realized is it took me taking a risk, a financial risk, an emotional risk, a time risk, to make this happen for my family, for me, so we can go out and have these adventures and have a beautiful bus to travel the road with. And I wasn't always a risk taker. I usually am pretty sure-footed and calculated, so I've had to learn how to do that in my life. So I took some risks. Another thing I learned in building is that if you rush, you screw up. It's just the inevitable thing. There were countless times where I was trying to squeeze in building part of the bus, doing some work in my office, and getting something in just in between the time I had to go and take care of the kids. So there's one example I remember. I had to cut all these beams you see on the windows. I had to carve out a line behind them so that they could fit snug to the wall. And there's there's like 14 or 15, 16 of them that I had to do. And I remember I was crunched for time. I had 5 minutes left and I had 3 more to do. And I rushed through them. And then I went and cut it because I wanted it to be done so I could pick it up later where I left off. And when I was cutting it, I almost cut the whole thing in half and ruined the piece that I just made. So if there's one thing to keep in mind when doing a build like this, it's take your time. And I've had the bus now, we're in May, so the bus we got in February. It's been 3 months. And if I was doing this full time and really hustling, I could probably have this thing built out by now. But what it's allowed me to do is to take my time with this process and learn as I go. So I just thought that was like such a good lesson for me personally, and maybe for some of you guys out there. In fact, if it is, hit that like button and let us know, because this idea of rushing through life and hustling to get something done, it's something I've done for a lot of my life, and usually leads to messes and mistakes that I've got to make up for later. So in addition to that, I've also learned that the persistence is so important. Man, I put so many hours into this. There's been times where I finally got it nailed down. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. And then I go to do it, and at the last minute, I either realize it's not gonna work, or someone says, hey, did you think about this? Or I watched another video and the guy said, don't do that, absolutely don't do that. And then there's this voice in my head that says, well, I gotta just do it anyway because I'm running out of time. Let me just go for it. And swallowing that and realizing, I need to slow down. I need to slow down. I want to do this well. I don't want to have to do it again. I don't want to create more problems for myself in the future. And I was like, man, that's such a good metaphor and analogy and reflection of how I do some things in my life. So taking the time to do things well, taking time to research things out, and finding that balance point of not overthinking it either. There's been moments where I've had to say, you know what? I'm going to do this. I don't know exactly what the answer is. Person in this video saying that thing, the guy over here saying this about buses. What do I think? And that's probably the last big thing that I've gotten from this, is really learning to trust my own gut. Trust my gut. When it comes down to it, gather information, figure out what I think is best, and then go for it. And then deal with the consequences, whether they're awesome or they suck. Either way, I'm in it. So what we're doing next is just kind of finishing out the framing here. You guys can see the floor with all the blue tape. So we'll probably do another update for you guys in like a month or two, and the rest of this thing should be built out. It should be looking like a home in no time. Gonna have the bed back here, chilling. Little wall, sink action, kitchen, beds for the kids, and the whole bit. So stay tuned to the channel because we're gonna have another update coming pretty soon. And for all you bus daddies out there, I feel you, I feel you, I feel you, I feel the pain and the enjoyment. Let's get it, bus daddy life.